Hey guys, it's Brittany, and this is my June wrap-up. So, June was a busy month for me. I went on vacation to Alaska, I started a new job, and I started my summer class. So it's been pretty busy. I went from about 10 hours of work a week to about 40, plus my online course on top of that. So I haven't had a lot of time to read, but I managed to read 5 books. So here they are. The first book I read in June was Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but yeah. This was a great book. I loved it, and it was heartbreaking, but also extraordinary. I loved it. It was great. It was quite interesting to read this right before going on a cruise, but it was great. I don't read a lot of historical fiction, but this really tore at my heartstrings. So I want to read more by her. Between Shades of Grey, I've heard, is really good, so I probably will be finding that book soon. The second book I read in the month of June was The Son of Neptune. I am attempting to reread the entire Heroes of Olympus series, but so far this is the only one I've read. I've gotten halfway through Mark of Athena, but I kind of just wavered out because that was right before I went on vacation, and I'm borrowing these books from my best friend, and so I didn't want to take her books on vacation and then lose them, so Son of Neptune. I've read this before, obviously, but I just wanted to reread it, and yes, Percy. I love Percy. I've missed him. He's the best. The next 3 books I read were all arcs. If you've seen my book haul from earlier this month, you know that I got 3 arcs in one day, which was really awesome. I got 2 from the Barnes & Noble Bee Fest, and I received 1 from Berkeley Publishing. And so, without further ado, here they are. The first one was Paper and Fire by Rachel Caine. This is the sequel to Ink and Bone, and I loved Ink and Bone. And so I signed up for a arc of Paper and Fire, and I won. I was so excited, and I read this book, and I loved it. I read it on vacation, and it was really good. So it's not quite as good as Ink and Bone, but like if Ink and Bone is right here, Paper and Fire is like right there. So it's right up there. It's a great sequel, and I just love it. And so, for those of you who don't know much about Ink and Bone, it is about what if the Great Library had never been destroyed. This is about Jess, who is trying to not exactly tear down the library, but it's very corrupt, so he's trying to liberate it, I guess. Yay. The second arc I read this month was probably my favorite book that I read this month. It's one of my favorite books that I've read all year, and that is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I have not read Everything, but after reading this book, I really want to. I loved it so much. I have so much respect for Nicola Yoon because this is such a beautiful book. It's beautifully written, the characters are amazing and complex, the plotline is complex, and it just doesn't feel like it only takes place in one day because it's just great. I have a review for this book and Paper and Fire. I have reviews for both of them on Goodreads, so if you want to, I will link those below if you want to read my reviews. The last book I read in the month of June was Kids of Appetite by David Arnold. So I wasn't too impressed by this book. It was good, but it's not my type of book, if you get my if you catch my meaning. I gave it, I think, 3 stars. It was okay, but it's not me. So So those were the 5 books I read in the month of June. So I'm just going to briefly mention some of the books that I want to read in July, excuse me. And I'm just going to briefly go through them. So Halo, as I mentioned before, by Alexandra Adornetto, which I'm currently reading this, and so I hope to be done with it soon. As I mentioned, I started The Hidden Oracle by Rick Riordan, and I really enjoy it. I don't enjoy it as much as Percy, but because Percy is bae, but it's pretty good. So far, I'm about 70 or 80 pages into it. The Crown's Game, I want to finish. I'm probably about 3 or 4 chapters into it. It's really good so far, and I'm really intrigued. But I almost bought this in the Seattle airport. And the last book I want to probably read in the month of July is The Star-Touched Queen by, I don't even know. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. But I'm really excited to read this book too. Also, something worth mentioning is in early June I posted a video called The Super Awesome Book Haul, and I got 8 books in the month of June, and only one of them wasn't in that book haul, so I'm just going to mention it here, and that is Legacy of Kings. I've wanted to read this book since before it first came out, and so I, for some reason, just never got around to reading it, and so just ignore all that noise in the background because my dad's being noisy. So this was kind of a compilation of my June book haul, June wrap up, July TBR. So I just wanted to quick put that out there because I haven't made a video in so long because I went on vacation and then I've been settling in and I had homework and it's just been really hectic. So thank you, and don't forget to like and subscribe and find me on social media. I will post all the links below. See you in the next video. Bye! I forgot to mention, Paper and Fire comes out tomorrow, or depending on when I post this video, it's July 5th is when it's released. So go buy it. It's great. I love it. Read Ink and Bone if you haven't read it already, because they're both absolutely fabulous. Bye guys.